Owain, are you listening? I feel so proud and excited to be standing here before you today. When I walked through those doors of the famous Three Kings pub in London to see a very handsome Welshman with a beer in each hand, I knew I was in for a fun date.
Charlotte has a certain presence and leaves a lasting impression on all who have known her.
Because Jude and I were almost at the very beginning of the story. In fact, it was when COVID hit and the phone call came from Owain. He's no ET, he doesn't phone home. So when Owain phones, it's fairly serious, okay? I'm heading up to you guys, and there's someone I'd like to bring with me. She's Australian, is that okay? A loaded question.
We were introduced to Owain online and soon after learned that Charlotte and Owain had decided to ride out the lockdown together in Shropshire with his family. A few weeks turned into several months.
And she's quarter Welsh, we were told, so that was a plus, we thought. Now those Welsh genes are clearly in there somewhere, but most of the time Charlotte is definitely Australian. But of course we couldn't turn down an offer to have Owain home for what likely be a couple of weeks. Clearly some chemistry was at play. Why else would you agree to stay locked in with parents of a chap you barely knew?
But how beautiful does my wife look tonight, ladies and gentlemen? You really do look stunning, and it's definitely a pinch me moment to get to marry someone as beautiful as you.
Just like the moon.
When Owain first told me about Charlotte, it was clear she was special from the first date.
But I gave you away. Now everything's different.
Keelan, he said. We met for brunch. We got pissed. We ended up in Inferno's, and then we got McDonald's after. Now, I don't really know what's more impressive. The bonding over a nightclub famous for having disgusting carpets, or Charlotte being exposed to Owain's famous McDonald's order of 1 burger, 3 extra large fries, a chocolate milkshake, and chicken nuggets, and thinking, yeah, this is the guy.
I was keeping you waiting on somebody else, but now my mind is made up and there's nobody else. Can you take me away to wherever you're going?
And then suddenly lockdown hit, so Owain thought, you know what? Inferno's went so well, let's take this relationship to the next level. Let's move in together. And that's all well and good until you realise let's move in together actually meant let's move in with my parents who you've never met miles away from London for an unprecedented amount of time.
I was just foolish, you could see through it. Oh, Angie.
As I say in my vows, it really is your energy that is the most captivating. Your effervescent personality lights up a room, makes people feel at ease, and allows them to be themselves.
She is the most loyal, vibrant friend anyone could ask for. And with COVID keeping us apart, many of us didn't actually meet Owain in person for quite some time. But when we finally did, it all made perfect sense.
So there I was, 2 weeks into lockdown, living in a house with 3 consultants, being project managed to within an inch of my life. Anyway, the Charlotte you know so well became our very own entertainment manager. The events included barbecues, discos, cocktail evening, Charlotte, oh yes. And there were Charlotte's Spanish lessons. Hola, Charlotte, hola, hola, hola.
A power couple. do everything together. Road trip across Europe. Their touring of vineyards and breweries will probably put most alcoholics to shame, but it's nice. It's nice. At this point, I'm not sure what's worse, your carbon footprint or your livers. Charlotte, you've introduced him to a whole new way of life, giving him laughter, structure, pink washing up gloves, free financial advice. His life is so much better for having you in it.
Father of the bride to the bedroom.
Let's run away to Italy and buy a house next to the sea till years go by. Till years go by.
It'll sound a bit corny, but when you walked through the doors of the famous Three Kings, smiled, and gave me a little shoulder shimmy as you said hi, something you denied to this day, I got the real sense I could be onto something good here.
While I talk to God about the stars in your eyes and
12 hours later, and dancing to S Club in Infernos, it was confirmed.
can you be mine too? Lately, the moon it keeps laughing at me as I lay down to sleep.
In Owain, Charlotte has found someone who truly loves her and gives her the space to be her best self. And she's found the only Welshman I've met who can't sing in tune.
Having met relatively soon before the first UK lockdown, as things were progressing and we were building our story at Mum's and Dad's, I remember wondering to myself whether Charlotte was suffering from a bit of Stockholm syndrome being locked away with me. Today, the question of who is the captive is a bit more open. But because of our journey, we know so much better what the other needs, how to communicate, reassure, provide for, and make sure we support each other. I love my life, I love you, and my soul is full for having you in it. Our life ahead is incredibly exciting, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
Let's run away to Italy and buy a house next to the sea till years go by. Run away till years go by. Run away. Scappiamo in Italia e prendiamo una casella.
So please raise one final glass to my beautiful wife, Charlotte.